Hello everyone. In our last class, we have come across the definition of DFT. We have started our logic of DFT, how a sequence, discrete time sequence x of n is being converted to x of k. That is discrete Fourier transformation. Discrete Fourier transformation means the sequence frequency spectrum of that of the discrete time sequence x of k, whatever it is being defined, is also discrete in nature. That's why it is known as discrete Fourier transformation, a slight difference from that of the concept of DTFT. But from the definition of DTFT, DFT can be also be defined. So we have come across the definition of DFT in our last class. Now today, after getting the definition or getting the idea about that discrete Fourier transformations definition, now we want to look about the some properties of discrete Fourier transformation, that is DFT. The properties. There are several properties are there for each and every transformations, but some of the properties are very common to each and every transformations, unlike of that of the Z transformation, of that Laplace transformation or continuous time Fourier transformation. DFT also has same kind of properties are there. Since DFT pair is equal to the DFS pair, DFS means discrete Fourier series pair, and their properties will be identical if we take care of the values of x of n and x of k, where the indices are outside of that of the interval. So just start with the same logic of that properties like DFS, discrete Fourier series. The first property, that is the well-known property for each and every transformation, that is the property of linearity. The systems will be linear in nature. Let us suppose we have two type of signals are there, discrete time signals are there. One is x of 1n and another is x of 2n. Now, if those individual system x of 1n and x of 2n applied to different type of system for transforming discrete Fourier transformation, by individually x of 1n has the DFT or discrete Fourier transformation of as x of 1k, and x of 2n has individually discrete Fourier transformation of x of 2k. Now, there are two separate sections of sequence. Now, if we easily compare, if we combine those two sequences with the constants of a and b, linear combination, if I take a linear combination of those two sequences as ax1n plus bx2n, we are simply taking a combination of x1n and x2n with the constants of a and b, and then apply DFT on those combination, on that combination. Whatever we are getting, that value of ax1k plus b of x2k. That means with the linear combination of input discrete time signal with the constants of a and b, the output of DFTs also follows the same rule, the same logic of same combination, linear combination of as that of the input with the constants of a and b. So that proves the linearity property of DFT. That means DFT will possess linearity property according to the systems, according to the signals and its combination with respect to its DFT pair. So note that if x1n and x2n are of different length, it could be that it can be of n1 sequence for x1n, it can be of n2 number of sequence for x2n. We can properly append 0 to make the shorter length, to make them with the same duration. That means whenever we are transforming a linear combination of the two sequences with different length, the first logic is that we have to make the sequence length will be equal. That means the lesser number of sequence have to append some more zeros, so that both the sequences having the same length with appending 0, and then they can be goes in the linear combination of their DFTs. That is the logic for the transformation by using property of linearity. That means DFT will follow the linearity property according to its rule of other transformations. What is the next property? That is shift of sequence. Shift of sequence means that can be defined as a time shifting property of that as DFT. Time shifting property tells us that whenever a sequence is being defined by a time shifted sequence, what are the changes are being occurred on their transformations, that is defined by a time shifting property. Here, let us focus on this time shifting property as shift of sequence property. Let us suppose we have a sequence, discrete time sequence x of n, and whenever it goes for a DFT or discrete Fourier transformation, it becomes x of k. The DFT of x of n will be defined by x of k. Now, if I do a shifting of that particular sequence x of n as x of n minus m, with respect to the value of m, it will be shifted forwardly. And x of n has n number of sequence, that's why it will be defined by x of n minus m mod n. Mod n means the number of point of sequence or the time period of that of the sequence is being defined as capital N. So it will be, whenever it is being applied to any type of discrete Fourier transformation, it will be defined by the same transformation x of k as that of the previous one, but it should be multiplied with omega n k m, the value of m, as it is defined or shifted with respect to the value of m, the power of n is being replaced by m also. But if we want to make a shift of x of n plus m, it will be simply defined by the value of x of k multiplied will be by the value of omega n minus of k into m. Depending upon the nature of positive shift or negative shift, the value of m or power of m omega will be defined by positive or negative. Note that in order to make sure that the resultant time index is within the time interval of 0 to 1, we need to make a shift which is defined by the value of capital N. As it's not possible or not defined for outside of that of the region from 0 to n minus 1. So beyond that region, we have to adjust that values according to that of the value of time period of that of the sequence. So in that we can say the value of n minus m is nothing but the value of n minus m plus or minus of r, integer multiple of capital N. It will be simply adjusted according to that value of time periodicity of that particular sequence. So in that way, that is a time shifting property of that sequence. In that way, it will be defined. That is the second property of DFT, that is time shifting property or circular shift property of that particular sequence. Now, according to that one, if I want to do the sketch or waveforms of that sequence, for the first sequence is x of n. It is defined from the value of 0 to n minus 1 as depicted in the center position. And beyond that region, it will be simply 0, that means vanishes. So now if I want to find out, as it is defined by a circular property, circular representation, that means beyond that value of n minus 1, it will be simply repeating. So each and every value, after passing each and every value of capital N, it will be repeating as shows in the second figure of that one. Now if I want to find out the value of x1 n from that of the value of x of n, simply defined by the shifting of x of n plus 2. X of n plus 2 means the value of n will be shifted by minus 2. Minus 2 means it will be left shifted by 2 unit. So each and every sequence, look at the third figure, each and every sequence is be left shifted by 2 unit. The two sequence will be outside that of the line. So overall, all the sequence will be left shifted by 2 unit. In that way, it will be defined. So if I want to find out the value of x of 1, then firstly, so simply defined by the central position block, are simple defined by this decreasing logic, then increasing and decreasing logic. In that the same way, it will be defined by. That means the shifting, in that way, the second property, that is the shifting of that of the sequence, is nothing but defined by the shifting of time shifting. That is not a shifting of time shifting, but that is not time shifting but linear way, but it is here, it is time shifting in a circular way. That means if we shifted that sequence leftly by 2 unit, the right side portion also comes by 2 unit in that simply way. So in that way, that will be defined by the circular shift of that one. But circular shift is always defined by with respect to the value of modulo capital N, because the value of capital N is nothing but defined as value of capital is nothing but defined as the length of the sequence, but it's also defined as the time period of that of the sequence also. So beyond that region, according to the time periodicity of that of the sequence, it will be repeating in nature. It will be repeated. So in that we have to remind that position also. So not only defined by that time shifting, but also we have to remind the time periodicity of that sequence also. So the third property, let's come on the third property, that is the property of duality. What the duality property tells us that? The duality property tells us that if we have a sequence, discrete time sequence x of n is there, and if I want to make its Fourier transformation as discrete Fourier transformation x of k, certain the value of x of n will be converted to x of k according to the nature of discrete Fourier transformations. Now in place of small of x of n, if I want to put the value of capital X of n according to the dual nature of that sequence, it will be also defined by the DFT defined by capital N into small of x of x minus of k. So according to the dual nature of that of the property, duality property of that nature, if x of n, small x of n is being converted to its DFT as capital X of k, And then if I take a dual nature of capital X of n is small value, x of capital small n, then its DFT will be simply defined as small of x with a value of minus k, but it will be multiplied by the value of capital N. So that defines the duality property of that DFT. Duality property means left side discrete time sequence is being defined by small n, and the right side DFT will be defined by capital X. But whenever we are applying the duality property of that DFT, the left side will be defined by the capital X and right side will be defined by the small x according to that nature of duality property. The fourth property is known as the property of symmetricity. What symmetricity property tells us that a sequence x of n, a discrete time sequence, its DFT will be defined by x of capital K, x of k. And whenever we are come forward about the definition of that one, if I do the symmetry of that x of n, that means if I apply conjugate property of x of n as x conjugate of n and then apply DFT on that particular time domain sequence, it will be also defined by the conjugacy on that DFT also, but the value of k would be simply get reversed with respect to that value of minus of k. So whenever x of n is being converted to x of k, now if I apply conjugacy on the sequences x of star k, x of conjugate k will be defined, x of conjugate of n will be defined by x conjugate, capital X conjugate of minus of k according to that nature of symmetricity property of that DFT. And also if I take a conjugate of x of n but dual of reverse nature of that of the sequence, that is x of conjugate of x of minus n, so its DFT will be simply defined as conjugate of x of k, as simple as that. So in that way it can be morely elaborated as according to that logic. So in both ways it will be defined. If both the sequence means time domain sequence as well as frequency domain transformation DFT, both are conjugative with each other. But if we take a simple form of n, it will be simply defined as the reverse form of k. But if I take a reverse form of n, it will be simply defined as the simple form of k is there. Next, there are some examples of duality natures are there. So first sequence is x of k, x of n, the time domain sequence, and it is defined for the range of 5. Here it is defined by the value of capital N equals to 5. So it will define from the value of 0 to 4 for all the h and every value, its value is 1. So x of n is defined by 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 starting from the range of 0 to 4. And whenever we are applying its DFT, certainly its DFT will be defined by using this logic in that way. Now whenever we are doing the duality nature of that of the sequence, certainly we are getting the same result as depicted in that of the third property of duality property. If in place of x of n, the capital X of n is there, the value of a capital X of k will be simply replaced by small x of minus k, but it will be multiplied by the value of capital N, as simple in that of the nature. In the second figure it will be defined by from the value of 0 to 10, it will be defined as it is defined by the value of 5. So it will also extend for the value of 5 up to 0 up to 10, that means 5 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. And whenever we are getting its Fourier transformations, all the natures of DFT will be depicted according to that nature of duality, as simple as that. The first one, just taking the figure of A, B, C and D, E, F, as simple as that. A is nothing but the discrete time sequence x of n, B is nothing but defined as the x of k nature of x of k, C is nothing but a reverse nature of x of k, D is nothing but the expanded version of x of n, E is nothing but the expanded version but in reverse order, and lastly F is nothing but shifted value of original figure of A. So in that way it will be simply defined by the logic of duality, not only the logic of duality but also expanded form as well as a reverse nature of also there, because in the different of duality property, if the sequence time domain sequence is in original form, the value of time ak is reversed in nature. So in that way these are the examples of the property of duality. Next property is nothing but defined as the property of circular convolution. Why it is called circular convolution, not normal convolution? Because here x of n has n number of point, capital N number of point, and that value of capital N number of point is nothing but, again, it is defined by a time domain sequence, but it is defined as a time period of that particular sequence. So here also, if I want to find out the convolution of the sequences, here also it is defined by simply circular convolution. What circular convolution tells us, property tells us that if you have two sequences, x of 1n and x of 2n, two discrete time domain sequences having their individual DFTs as x of 1 of k and x of 2 of k individually. Now if I take a convolution of x1n and x2n, as they are both are circular in nature, as they are both are represented by circularly as time periodicity is there, so this type of convolution is known as circular convolution. As we are applying circular convolution according to its time domain, and whenever we are converting it in frequency domain, that is simply defined as the multiplication form of their DFTs as x1k into x2k. So it simply defines that whenever we are applying the circular convolution operator on that time domain sequences, that operator is simply equivalent to that of the multiplication operator in frequency domain transformation. So x1k circular convolution with x2n, so sorry, x1n whenever applies on that of the circular convolution with x2n, it is simply equivalent to the multiplication of x1k, that is the DFT of the first sequence, multiplied with that of the DFT of the second sequence, that is x2k. So x1n convolution with x2n will simply applies to DFT to get the value of x1k dot x2k. That is the property of circular convolution. So according to that nature of circular convolution, after that there are several properties that are also there, that is being depicted according to that nature. The property of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, different type of examples are there. So according to those sort of some examples, we can easily find out different properties are there. And if I know all the properties of DFT according to that nature, we can easily find out different type of examples for the conversion of DFTs. Any type of sequences can be converted to DFT by using this type of properties are there. So we have come forward about the different type of properties of DFT. What are the properties? The properties are defined by linearity property. Second property is defined by time shifting or circular shifting of sequence property. Third property is nothing but defined as the duality property. Fourth property of DFT is nothing but defined as the symmetricity property. And the fifth property will be defined by the circular convolution property. So why it is circular? Because it's defined by a circular representation of that of the sequence. So using those properties, we can easily find out any type of DFTs for any type of sequences whenever it is being applied for. So that is all the properties of DFT or today's class. Is it okay? Thank you.